Hindsight bias. Let's talk about it. This is a very, very important topic and concept to understand, because what it's going to do is let me take a step back. This is all coming from your ego. Now, I don't mean ego in the sense of you think you're hot stuff, you walk around like this, look at me, ladies, not that type of ego, but just ego in the sense of at the core, you do want to feel good about yourself. At the core, and that's your ego's job, to make you feel good about yourself. So because of that, you need to be very aware of this hindsight bias that is going to make you think that you are a much better trader. It's going to make you think that you have much better analysis skills. It's going to make you think that you're ready for trading, or ready for, really anything in life, but in this case, trading, a lot quicker, a lot sooner than what you already are. And I get this quite a bit. And I think I've done videos on this, but it's been a while. Regardless though, I got a comment on YouTube in regards to one of my live trade videos. And these always make me laugh. And I don't laugh in a judgmental way, just in a way of good old hindsight bias that they really don't actually realize is affecting their thought process. So here they are saying, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. I was like, well, wait a second. Yeah, you're right. That's good advice you're giving. And I know that in your mind, you know that it's good advice. But why is it good advice? Why are you able to give me that good advice? And that's because of hindsight bias. So let me read through this real quick and then I'll break it down a little bit more. So I lied. This comes from Facebook actually. But anyways, Centerpoint, who is a broker, didn't have the shares to borrow this morning. Missed out. So I said, missed out on what? Getting steamrolled? Because this thing was an absolutely monster mover to the upside. They replied back, or somebody else replied back, missed out living under a bridge. Because again, the stock that they're commenting on made a huge move. And then they replied back, missed out on the short back down. So let's map out the situation here. A stock went, like I said, a huge move up. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But then, yeah, it did eventually come back down. So what is this person saying? If only I had shares to short. And if you're new, shorting means you just make money when prices go down. Well, yeah, that's great if you had shares to short. But, what happens if you were to shorted right there? That wouldn't have been a good situation. What happens if you were to shorted right there? That's getting steamrolled. That's called like living under the bridge, like these people are commenting. But what was this person's? No. If only I would have shorted, I would have shorted, basically on the way back down. Well, wait a second. You know that it's quote unquote the way back down because you already know what happened. That's why you know it's the way back down. At the time, you didn't know that any of that existed. You didn't even know that existed. For all you know, you could have thought, or this person could have thought, that right there was the point where, all right, it's about to head back down. When you don't have hindsight in your favor, then yeah, you have no idea. For all you know, that was the very top. But when you do have hindsight, you're going to be biased towards, like I said, the ego, making yourself think, making yourself see things in a way. And in this person, they're seeing the situation of, I could have made so much money shorting it. Because, well, yeah, it eventually went back down. So of course your voice is going to say, and your ego is going to say, yeah, and you know what? You'd have been shorting right up there, right before it went back down. And you'd have made so much money if there are shares. Your ego is not going to say, if you had shares, man, you could have shorted it right there and then got absolutely roasted. That's not how the hindsight bias works in the sense of trying to figure out would I made a profitable trade on it. Most cases, it's going to be this situation where, no, I'm disappointed, not because I would have been roasted, but because I would have shown up probably at the exact perfect time. I would have waited, and then I would have gotten confirmation and shorted. Again, think about that word confirmation. The only reason he would know to define it as confirmation is his mind, his ego, is going to find some sort of spot. But yeah, to be fair, probably was a point of confirmation. But what it's going to ignore is all the other false bits of confirmation, where right there, maybe, let me change up the color. Maybe right here was a potential area of confirmation. That wasn't actually confirmation because, it kept going up. And then, there's another false signal for a top, and it kept going up. So of course, he's going to focus on the real, true signal that the top was finally in and use that as his confirmation point. So you have all these false signals, but the ego, your mind, when you have hindsight, is just going to, nope. That was the real one. Yep, that's where I would have been. and all of a sudden they think that they would have played the trade much better than what they would have. Now, maybe they would have played it pretty well, but my point is to sit there and wish you had shares to short on something that went crazy, and then for you to automatically assume, well, yeah, I would have shorted it on the way down. Yeah, but you didn't know where the way down was at that point. You would have had no idea. And that person is getting a false mentality towards their, approach to the market. And that's what I mean by dangerous, because if you think you're better than what you actually are because of this hindsight bias, then you're going to get out there when you don't have hindsight in your favor, and it's going to be like, holy, I don't know. Is it on the way back down? Is it still going up? I don't know. I have no idea if it's on its way back down. Is this where I short? And it's a whole lot different when you don't have hindsight in your favor. So just be aware of that. It's a very tricky thing, but if you find yourself kind of commenting, or you just find yourself really thinking, oh, I would have nailed that. Well, why do you think you would have nailed that? Are you sure you're not saying you would have nailed it because you now know exactly what happens? So you're ignoring a bunch of things and just focusing on the one thing that, yeah, would have worked out. I mean, that doesn't make you stupid. That doesn't make you a moron. That just makes you a human being. That's how the mind works. Hence hindsight bias. So be very aware of that, because this causes way too many people, myself included, to rush into trading sooner than what they should be, because the voice is saying, oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. You're ready, but you're not ready. So just be very careful of this psychological concept of hindsight bias. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.